was 7 months pregnant when my husband grabbed my arm and threw me into the snow, in front of the courthouse, in front of everyone. The snow soaked through my coat in seconds, my hands hit ice, my belly, his baby, pressed against the frozen ground. I looked up at him. Jae-won stood over me. Black suit, no emotion. "Get out of my life," he said. Behind him, through the courthouse doors, I saw her. Judge Williams, my mother. She stood frozen, hand over her mouth, robe still on. She just finalized his business deal inside. A deal worth millions. She had no idea he was about to destroy her daughter on the courthouse steps. That's when I realized something. He didn't know either. He had no idea who I really was. I met Jae-won 6 months ago. I was working doubles at a restaurant in Koreatown. He walked in late one night. Expensive watch, dangerous eyes, the kind of man you don't say no to. He wanted me, not because I was special, because I was available. I didn't tell him about my family. I didn't tell him my mother was one of the most powerful judges in the city. I didn't tell him my father was Senator Carter, the man who built half the skyline. I just wanted to be normal. I wanted someone to love me for me. That was my first mistake. Jae-won married me 3 weeks after we met. No family, no questions. Just a courthouse wedding and a ring I later found out was stolen. I thought it was romantic. It wasn't. He needed a wife for his visa. I needed to believe someone wanted me. The first month was perfect. Then the cracks started showing. When I got pregnant, everything changed. He stopped coming home, stopped answering calls, started seeing someone else. A woman from Seoul. Someone his family approved of. I caught him on the phone with her once. He didn't even hang up, just looked at me like I was interrupting. I should have left then. But I was pregnant. And I believed him when he said he'd change. He never did. I confronted him this morning, outside the courthouse, right after my mother's hearing. I didn't plan it. I just saw him walking out, saw him on the phone with her, and something inside me broke. I told him I was keeping the baby. He laughed. "You think I care about," he said. "You're nothing. A waitress I married because I needed papers. I have someone better now," he continued, "someone my family respects." That's when I grabbed his arm. "You married me," I said. "You put this baby inside me. You don't get to just walk away." That's when he grabbed me. That's when he threw me. That's when my mother saw everything. If this happened to you, would you choose law or revenge? Comment one word. I stayed on the ground, not because I couldn't get up, because I was deciding whether to tell him the truth, deciding whether to let my mother step in, deciding whether to destroy him. Jae-won turned to walk away. That's when she spoke. "Mr. Choi?" My mother's voice cut through the cold. Jae-won froze. He turned, saw the robes, saw the face. "Judge Williams," he said, respectful, careful. She walked down the steps, slow, controlled, every step deliberate. "Do you know who that is?" she asked. Jae-won looked at me, then back at her. "My wife," he said. "Your wife," my mother repeated. "The woman you just assaulted on state property, in front of witnesses, while she's carrying your child." His face changed. "And my daughter. If you're team wife, comment team her." Because Jae-won wasn't done humiliating me yet. Jae-won's face went white, but only for a second. Then he smiled, that cold, calculated smile I'd seen 100 times before. "Judge Williams," he said smoothly. "I apologize. This is a personal matter between my wife and myself. I didn't realize she was your—" "Save it," my mother said, but Jae-won kept talking. "With all due respect, Your Honor, family disputes happen. I'm sure we can resolve this privately. The deal we just signed is important to both our families. My connections in Seoul, your position here, your husband's Senate campaigns, we all have a lot to lose if this becomes public." He was threatening her. My mother didn't move. "Are you suggesting I overlook a crime committed on courthouse property because of a business deal?" "I'm suggesting," Jae-won said carefully, "that what happens between a husband and wife is complicated, and that your daughter chose to marry me knowing exactly who I was." He looked at me. She knew I was building an empire. She knew this marriage was practical. "Practical," I repeated. "Yes," he said, "and if she wants to continue being my wife, she'll understand that carrying my child comes with certain expectations." He thought my mother would protect her reputation over protecting me. My mother pulled out her phone. "Mr. Choi, you seem to believe you have leverage here." "I believe we both benefit from keeping this quiet," he said. She smiled, not warmly. "Let me show you something." She turned her phone toward him. I couldn't see the screen from where I stood, but I saw Jae-won's face change. All the color drained. All the confidence vanished. That's not, he started. Financial records, my mother said. Wire transfers, property titles, all under false documentation. All filed in my courtroom over the past 6 months. She scrolled. You used your marriage to my daughter as proof of residency. You forged her signature on 3 separate property deals, and you've been laundering money through accounts under her name. Jae-won took a step back. I have been investigating you for 4 months, Mr. Choi. Since the day you filed your first fraudulent document. You have no proof I forged. I have your mistress's testimony. My mother interrupted. The woman from Seoul you've been seeing, Minha Park? She's cooperating with federal investigators. She gave us everything. His mouth opened. Nothing came out. The deal you signed today, my mother continued, was the final piece we needed. You just transferred ownership of properties you don't legally own. That's federal fraud. She put her phone away. You're done. Jae-won looked at me. Real panic now. You knew, he said. You knew she was investigating me. I stood up, slowly, brushing snow off my coat. No, I said, I didn't. And I hadn't. My mother had been building this case without telling me. She knew I loved him, or thought I did. She knew I wouldn't help her destroy him. So she did it alone, I said. Jae-won fell to his knees in the snow where he'd thrown me 10 minutes ago. Please, he begged. Think about the baby, our baby. I walked toward him. My mother tried to stop me. I held up my hand. I knelt down, eye level with him. You want me to think about the baby? I said quietly. He nodded, desperate now. Okay, I said. I'm thinking about her growing up knowing her father married her mother for papers. I'm thinking about her learning that he forged her mother's signature. I'm thinking about her finding out he had a mistress before she was even born. Tears ran down his face. I'm thinking about all of that, I continued. And I'm deciding that she's better off without you. I stood up. My mother put her hand on my shoulder. Agents, my mother said. 2 federal agents appeared. Not courthouse security, FBI. Jae-won Choi, one of them said. You're under arrest for wire fraud, identity theft, falsifying federal documents, and conspiracy to commit money laundering. They pulled him to his feet, put him in handcuffs, read him his rights. He looked at me one last time. I loved you, he said. No, I said. You loved what you thought you could take from me. They led him away. He didn't look back. I did. I watched them put him in the car, watched them drive away, watched everything I thought I knew disappear. 3 months later, I gave birth to a daughter. Healthy, beautiful, mine. By the time she was born, Jae-won was already in federal custody, his visa case collapsing, his assets seized, his family in Seoul disowned him, his empire disappeared like snow in spring. My mother showed me the case file after it was over. All of it. She'd suspected him from the beginning. The rushed marriage, the missing family, the inconsistencies in his paperwork. She'd hired investigators the day after our wedding. She'd been tracking every document he filed. She'd been protecting me the whole time. I just didn't know it. I wanted to tell you, she said, but you loved him, and I needed you to see who he really was. She was right. I wouldn't have believed her. I would have defended him. That's what love does. It makes you blind. My daughter will grow up knowing different. She'll grow up knowing her grandmother protected justice when no one else would. Her grandfather built empires the right way, and her mother learned that being underestimated was sometimes the greatest weapon. She'll grow up knowing that snow melts, that empires fall, that men who throw women away end up with nothing. But women like us? We don't break, we rise, we protect, we remember, and we make sure our daughters never forget their worth. Drop your city below if betrayal ever made you colder, wiser, and stronger. And if you're team wife, subscribe before the next story, because this one was just the beginning.